Yo, what's up, family? Welcome to another episode of Friday Night Live with me, Pastor Frank. Listen, do me a favor as y'all coming in. Make sure y'all share this video with somebody, even tag some folks down below. Hit that @ symbol and type in a few people's name. Let them know that we are on. We are live this Friday evening for a few minutes. I hope everybody has been having a great week so far. And as we get ready to kick off our weekend, I'm so excited, y'all. We made it through another week. Um, that's something we should never take for granted, y'all. Anytime that we see not only just another day, but anytime that we make it through. And so yeah, do me a favor as y'all coming in, go ahead and drop a line in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from, even on the replay. Let me know where you are watching from as we getting ready to jump into this Friday Night Live. Tonight we will be talking about when wounded. We're not going to be on long like normal. So as you're coming in, make sure you like, tag, and share this video with somebody. Let them know tonight we're going to be talking about when wounded or winning wounded. If you haven't, do me a favor. I know some of you are maybe watching on Facebook, but if you can, do me a favor, run over to YouTube and make sure that you hit the subscribe button and follow my channel, Redwood Community Church. And also, if you're also not tuned in with me on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, go over to Facebook, look up @ Frank Maurice, and make sure that you follow me on there. So that you can stay up to date with all the latest episodes as we'll be coming to you every Friday night as we get ready to kick off our weekend. Yeah, I'm excited, you all, for another episode. Also, you all, before I forget, if you all have any questions, you want to leave any comment that you don't want to leave in the chat, You all can also send me a text, shoot me a text at 833-858 5897. Again, you can, if you got any questions, comments, even if you got a prayer request, right? Shoot me a text at 833-858-5897. I want to hear from you, want to stay connected with you all as we get ready to keep moving forward. Tonight, you all, tonight we're talking about winning wounded. I ain't gonna hold y'all too much longer, but tonight we're gonna be talking about winning wounded. What does it mean, winning wounded? The idea, you all, came from, some of you all may know, those that know me personally, but for those that don't know, one of my favorite favorite musicians or artists, he was born with the name Kirk Smith. And later, once he was adopted, his last name was changed to Franklin, right? So, for those you haven't put it together by now, one of my favorite musical artists is not just gospel artists, but musical artists in general is Kirk Franklin. And for those of you all who may not know, he has a new album out. It came out maybe about a month or two ago, and right before the album came out, he put out a documentary. Um, and so he's been doing a lot of promo on television, talk shows, and various things. And one of the things that he stated as he was telling his story, if you haven't seen his documentary, is on YouTube. Simply look up Kirk Franklin documentary. It's only about 30-35 minutes. I think it's really informative, really inspiring. But one and so at the documentary, he kind of talks about his journey as a, not just as a Christian, but as a Christian man in particular who was adopted. And he talks about in the documentary how his whole entire life, even up to now, he talks about how he has had so many various struggles and issues, which really are the result of traumatic experiences growing up. And on one of the talk shows, he was talking about his process of working through, even still working through some of his own, his issues and struggles. Um, and he made the statement in trying to encourage the rest of us. He made the statement that we need to win wounded. Um, and I thought that that statement was very powerful. But as a lot of the super deep Christians out there, I'm gonna call them Jesus Junior. There was a lot of people that began to kind of give him a lot of flack. There was one particular comment that I read in particular where they were bashing Kirk Franklin and saying, how dare he say that, encourage people to win wounded because, God, we serve a God who can heal and set free and deliver. And all of that is true, you all. God can heal immediately. God can deliver immediately. God can set free immediately. But the facts of the matter are that for most of us, right, most of the time, it doesn't work that way. Usually, for most of us, right, our healing, our deliverance, our being set free is a process. And again, yes, God can heal, deliver, and set free immediately, but we don't have any say so or any choice in that. That's all based on God's design or whatever his purpose and his plan is for our lives. But I was inspired by that comment because the more I began to think about that comment, I thought about how, what would be some of the reasons um, that many Christians or those who claim to be Christians, what would be the reason that many of us may not understand that concept? And so I thought about the fact that if you look in the Bible in particular, as I pull up my little notes here, and I'm gonna try not to go too deep and go too long, but when you think about in the Bible, there's so many stories of people that God used or where God made people a promise where although he made them a promise and the promise was fulfilled, They still had to work through some things or go through some things. As a matter of fact, God's chosen people, the children of Israel, he promised them a land flowing with milk and honey, right? But here's the thing. I think when we read the Bible sometimes and we read some of the stories in the Bible, because we're reading them, sometimes I think that maybe it's kind of like watching a movie. We don't realize that some of these things is there's a little more depth to what we see, right? You know, like when we look at a movie sometimes and some of the things that people do in movies and one of the things that my mother would say when she see things that people do that we know is so unreal, she'd just say Hollywood, Hollywood, because we know in real life some of those things is just unreal, right? There's no way that it can happen. As a matter of fact, a couple of months ago, one of the biggest things that everybody was kind of laughing and talking about on social media was one of the Tubi movies. I have no idea what the name of this movie was, but it was a Tubi movie where the guy was being shot at by, I guess, a young lady, and he was so fed up that he got so angry and he had a gun and he swung the gun around. Essentially, when he shot the bullet, he was throwing the bullet, making the bullet turn around. And we would talk about, of course, how unreal that is. That it doesn't work that way, which is actually kind of funny because there's actually an actual movie that they were actually making fun of where something like that happened. And again, Hollywood, right? It's not real. You can't really throw a bullet, and make a bullet turn around a corner and hit somebody, right? And I think for you all that when we think about winning wounded, what that means is, what does winning mean for most of us? Winning is succeeding at or achieving whatever it is that God has promised you, achieving whatever it is that you have set out to do, right? I think a lot of times, many of us, we have this misconception that we just gonna walk across the finish line, right? And we with no worries. But the fact of the matter is, you all, that's not true, right? The fact of the matter is, for many of us, if not most of us, we very well may have to crawl across the finish line. For many of us. Somebody may even have to drag us across the finish line. Somebody may have to push us across the finish line. And the story that I think about is when Moses died and Joshua took over. The Bible says that God told Joshua, and Joshua had told the people to be strong and be courageous as they were getting ready. Watch this, to enter into what God called the promised land. And the reason that he told them to be strong and be courageous as they were getting ready to take possession of the very thing that God promised them, watch this, is because there were actually people already living there. So what does that mean? That meant that when they were getting ready to take possession of a land that God promised them, they were going to have to fight. I don't know about y'all, but everybody ain't Mike Tyson. Let's just be honest. When you're entering into a fight, there's a possibility that you may be wounded. There's a possibility that someone may cause you pain. Someone may cause you harm. As a matter of fact, there's someone watching me now. You can relate. You know that God has promised you a success in whatever area of life that you all have been praying about. But if we're being honest, when we look back over our lives, for many of us, the struggles and the things that we have had to go through, and even presently, some of the things that we still have to go through. Sometimes it's hard to feel like we're making progress. It's hard to feel like we're going to make it to the finish line. But the reality is, you all, God does promise in the end that we'll win. He didn't promise that you wouldn't have any bumps, any bruises, any scrapes, any cuts. He didn't say we wouldn't be wounded. What he told us was that any weapon that forms against us will not prosper. What does that mean? That means a weapon may be formed. That means a weapon may be used. But it just simply means that that weapon won't prosper in that it won't kill you. As a matter of fact, Paul encourages Timothy to endure as a good soldier. And as we get ready to kick off our weekend, I know for some of us, we've been struggling, and it seems like we've been struggling for a long time. And I just want to encourage you, just as Paul encouraged Timothy, don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. If you need to take a break and to catch your breath, go ahead and catch your breath. But then get up and keep going. Keep moving forward. Because God promises, as long as we endure to the end, we're promised to win. Our enemy is Satan. His whole job is to try to get us to throw in the towel, to get us to stop pressing forward, to stop moving forward. So whatever you do, I need you to keep moving forward. We got to remember, we very well may have to win wounded. Because in the end, we still win. Some of us just may be wounded. I hope this blessed somebody on this weekend. And listen, drop me a line in the chat and let me know if you understood or you this resonated with you in some kind of way. I look forward to hollering at y'all on next weekend. Next Friday night, actually, we'll be talking about knowing your worth. Do you know your worth? I don't know. Let's talk about it. I'll see y'all next week. Peace out.